I did get saved at kids camp one year. I don't remember the year, but I was little, so. But I do remember giving my heart to God, and I had my counselor and all the girls in the cabin like came up and stood around me and put their hands on me. For a kid, that's a lot. Also, as a counselor experiencing that, it's great. And I liked being a counselor last year because we got to have like devotion times with the kids, which I really liked, because I was way out of my comfort zone. I've never taught anyone in my entire life. One of them, I specifically remember, came up to me after, I think it was the second to last day of camp. We talked, obviously you talk about like, the second to last day of camp is like when it gets really serious, and you talk about giving your heart to God and like just all the serious stuff that camp has to offer too. And she came up to me and told me that she gave her heart to God. And I told the camp counselor, I don't know, I didn't tell her, or I told him the name, but he didn't announce it. He just said one of the girls got saved. And she knew that I told, but she came up to me and she said, "Thank you for telling someone." I was like, "Don't be ashamed, tell everyone." And I don't know, it was just awesome because I was there years ago and I was the kid telling my counselor that I got saved. It was just cool.
My love for Mount Vernon started in early elementary school. When I was in second grade, my mom, Kim Western, and I got in her minivan and we went up to Mount Vernon, Ohio for the very first time. And I had no idea how much that I would fall in love with that school. And people look at me like I'm absolutely insane when I tell them that I decided to go to Mount Vernon when I was in second grade. But it's true, and it's because that first year I was quizzing and I made it to regionals at Mount Vernon. And from then on, I knew that that's where I wanted to go. And it sounds completely insane. What second grader decides what college they're gonna go to? But it stuck. I remember saying that this is where I'm gonna go, but when I look at my experience in Mount Vernon, it's on the radio. I got an education, I did sports broadcasting. I spent time in LA where I made an actual short film that premiered in a theater in Los Angeles. I had so many experiences on so many levels, educationally, spiritually, and made friendships that will last an absolute lifetime. And none of that would have happened if I wouldn't have been here at Summit quizzing.
It's wonderful, I think, to know how I felt when I was in children's church and in VBS and in quizzing, and the kind of feelings that I had and the kind of experiences that I had, and then being able to see other people doing the same. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to become a teacher, was that I could share my love of math and all of that with as many people as I could. And similarly, I like to work in the church. I like to work like as a Sunday school teacher, and I like to help with VBS and things like that because I want to share the love of Christ with as many people as possible. And I think one of the most important groups of people that you could share the love of Christ with is our kids, because they're the future of the church. They're the future. They're the future of our society, and if we're not able to instill in them a love of Christ, where does that leave us? And so I think it's very important. I feel like it's very important to help out in that kind of thing, because without that, it makes it much more difficult to share the love of Christ with kids.